What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be going through the brand new Sugo-Fest that has just been leaked on the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. Now, with this Sugo-Fest, it's very reminiscent of the Guild Tesoro Sugo-Fest. Going on with the theme of the One Piece films, we have Legend, Shiki, and the Strong World Batch arriving on One Piece Treasure Cruise Japan. And in this video, we are going to be discussing Legend Shiki, and we're briefly going to be touching up upon the brand new Sugo-Fest batch that will be arriving with Shiki on, I believe it's the 10th, the 9th, or the 10th of August 2018. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So I'd like to introduce you guys to the brand new Sugo-Fest exclusive character on the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, which is the Golden Lion Shiki. Now, Shiki does come along with some of the Strong World characters being Scarlet and Dr. Indigo, and after we go through Shiki, we're going to briefly touch upon those characters, but I really want to first off discuss this character, which is Shiki. Now, unfortunately, I'm a little disappointed in what they've done with Shiki. He is a little bit one-dimensional, but we'll go through it right now. So Shiki is going to be a quick, driven striker character. No problems there. I'm fine with him being quick. Driven and striker, both classes make a lot of sense, and his artwork looks phenomenal. I'm really happy with how they've done his artwork. Shout out to Anton on the One Piece Treasure Cruise subreddit Discord page, who's gone ahead and data mined all of these artworks. Thank you so much for your work. This is absolutely fantastic. I love the way that they've done the artwork. It looks very, very good from when the Straw Hats fought Shiki in Film Gold, of course. In Film Strong World, of course. And at this current time, we don't know his max statistics. Once we know his max stats, I'll make sure to put it in a pinned comment down below in the comments, so you guys can go ahead and read his max statistics, as well as his limit break abilities and his sailor abilities, because he could get some pretty good abilities in that kind of department, but as of right now, it seems pretty weird. So he has 55 cost and 5 socket spots as well. Pretty stock standard for a legend character in 2018. But now let's go ahead and break down this specific captain ability of the brand new Sugo-Fest exclusive Shiki. So, his captain ability will go ahead and boost the attack of Dex, Quick, and Int characters by 2.75 times, and also boost Dex, Int, and Quick characters' HP by 1.35 times. After you attack in a chain of Dex, Int, and then Quick with good or better, you will boost the attack of Dex, Quick, and Int by 4 times instead. And on top of all of this, he makes Recovery and Tandem Orbs count as beneficial for the entire crew. Okay, so to break down each of these components, so you can see straight away here's a type captain, which is kind of weird. You know, sometimes they'll go to type and then they'll come back to class captains, so I don't really know the release schedule of Bandai right now. They're releasing some pretty obscure units, like we just had a couple of class units, and now we're going back to color meta, where we just had Whitebeard Marco on the Japanese version of Treasure Cruise, and now they're back to another type meta with Shiki once again. Now, Dex, Quick, and Int is not too bad. I think that's a completely valid and pretty okay actual typing for his captain ability. I don't think that there's any problems with that overall. All of these colors have some pretty good units in them. Obviously, Legend Nami is going to be a really key unit because she is just such a really powerful sub-unit, and she is a Dex unit. And obviously, another unit is like Legend Doflamingo. You know, there's some really crazy characters that you can run on a Legend Shiki team. But the big downfall of Shiki is the fact that, yeah, 2.75 base is, you know, it's possible, but in order to get your really high multiplier of the 4 times attack, you have to hit in a certain color order of Dex, then Int, and then Quick. Now, we've seen with a previous release of a legend that is very similar with V2 Kuzan, he has a very similar mechanic where you have to hit, I think it's in Sai Quick order in order for you to get your really high multiplier, and V2 Kuzan is a really good unit. But the fact that you have to hit in that specific order makes it the fact that, like, people don't really want to use that character that often, because you have to hit in a certain order, which can kind of screw up your attacking order depending on what orbs you have, and it's just really, really annoying in a lot of different circumstances. And just the fact that he has to do it with Dex, Int, and then Quick means obviously you need to have one of each of them on your crew, which is actually quite a downside, because it would be quite nice if you could just run one of the colors and then you could really abuse that. But even still, you know, you do have to run one of each of these colors, and the fact that he does include Int as one of his colors is quite nice, because you can run a team like with with V2 Shanks on it, and V2 Shanks could be quite a nice unit to run, where you would want to run predominantly quick characters, and then have one Dex and then Shanks on your crew, and you can build some pretty good teams out of that as well. That would actually be quite a solid team. So yeah, there are different ways around using this character, but the fact that you have to hit in that certain order is kind of a downside. He does give you quite a substantial HP boost as well. 1.35 is actually pretty decent. That's a lot in comparison to a lot of other legends that are released nowadays. He doesn't have any damage reduction, but you know, a 1.35 HP boost is quite nice. So double Shiki gives you a 1.82 HP boost. That's pretty goddamn high. So most teams average around 15 to 20k, so if you double that, between 30 to 40k in HP is actually pretty nice. And on top of this, you'll probably run a ship that could potentially boost your health even further than that. Yeah, okay, so his captain ability isn't too bad overall. So now that we've gone through that, let's go ahead and talk about his special ability. So Shiki's special ability will go ahead and reduce your crew's health by 99%, and then on top of that, he will deal 30 times the amount of HP that you had lost in typeless damage to all enemies. And on top of this, he will go ahead and change all of your orbs, including block orbs, into recovery orbs. So let's break down each of these components, okay? So he does health reduction, which means that it would be quite nice if there were some units that utilize being at low health, or it would have been better if his captain ability, instead of, you know, having to hit in Dex in quick, it would have been nice if it was like under a certain health threshold, get 4 times attack, because that would be a lot more manageable. In my personal opinion, I'd prefer having a low HP threshold in comparison to hitting in a certain order, but, you know, it is what it is. But the fact that he does also deal 30 times the amount of HP that you lost in typeless damage to all enemies, that is actually pretty goddamn crazy. As we mentioned before, with the HP boost that he provides, 1.35, that's about a 1.82. So if we go on average, let's go like 1750, 17,500 times 1.82 gives us 31,000 HP, nearly 32,000. And if we reduce that by 99%, and then you multiply that by 30, you can go ahead and get up to over 1 million damage just with his special ability alone that does damage to all enemies in typeless damage. Unfortunately, it does not allow it to bypass barriers. However, you could still run some pretty crazy units that would allow you to do that. Like, you don't even have to run Shiki as your captain. You can run him as a sub with like a V1 lore, which would enable this character to do damage through barriers. So that is actually technically a way that you could get around that, but obviously, you want to be using this guy as a captain with the way that his special works and all of that. The fact that he changes all orbs, including block orbs, into recovery is also very, very good, as it enables him to give his crew a full board of matching orbs, as with his captain ability, he makes recovery in tandem beneficial to all characters. So yeah, he will just guarantee you a full board of orbs with his special ability. So that's also a pretty good little part of his special ability, but that's all he does. He does reduces health, damage to all enemies, and a full board of orbs. So it is a little bit underwhelming in the fact that his captain ability is very one-dimensional and his special ability is pretty basic also. It just seems very uncreative the way that they've built this Shiki character. I do think he's going to be a pretty decent character. He's definitely going to be able to clear a lot of content, if not all content in the game, with the way that he's built. It's just unfortunate that he just kind of is boring, honestly. In my opinion, he's a very, very boring legend. I don't think he's terrible, but I do think it is very underwhelming in the way that they have created this character. But anyways, that's been the full breakdown of this character. As I said, once we get the full breakdown of his statistics and we get his cooldown and his sailor abilities and his limit break potential abilities, I will put that all as a pinned comment down below in the comment section. But now that we've gone through this, let's go ahead and discuss very, very briefly the other characters that are releasing with Legend Shiki. Okay, so right now we are over on the One Piece Treasure Cruise subreddit Discord. Big shout out to Anthony for the data mines of the artwork and also all the people who have come together to translate all of these characters. So this is the Shiki character that we've already briefly discussed in this video. Now the next character here is Garnfall. He is a treasure mode rare recruit unit, a 1.75 times point booster for the treasure mode NL coming to Japan. and he's a pretty basic unit, reduces 3 turns of bind and attack down, changes bottom of orbs to matching. Okay, so that's pretty basic. You know, the lower point booster character typically doesn't have a really amazing special ability, but it's definitely not terrible, and can definitely see some use outside of Treasure Map as well. Now, the next character here is Luffy. So this Luffy is the high point booster for Treasure Map Eneru, and his special ability reduces barriers by 1 turn, reduces defense by 100%, and boosts the attack of Dex, Quick, and Int characters depending on your Treasure Map level, and can go up to 2.25 times. This character, when he comes to global, is going to be one of those ones where, like, yeah, if you get this unit, he's going to help you out so much, because the fact that on global, he's going to be boosted for every single treasure map outside of his own one that he gets released on, that's pretty exciting. He's a very good unit. So yeah, when he comes to global, I would recommend summoning for him. He's very good. Now, the next character is Scarlet. So this is actually the character that is releasing inside the Sugo-Fest along with Shiki. So this Scarlet rare recruit character, his captain ability, after a chain of good, great, then perfect, 3.25 attack, 2 fighter, and powerhouse character. It's funny, with a captain ability like that, he's like nearly as good as Log Luffy, just with a regular rare recruit. It's very similar to Log Luffy. His special ability states that if your HP is below or equal to 10% and the captain is a driven character, when you activate the special, boost your orbs by 2 times for 1 turn. In addition, if there is only 1 enemy on the stage, reduce 5 turns of damage at the end of the turn, attack up, and enrage of the enemy. And then the sailor says if the captain is driven, plus 100 to his attack. This is a pretty decent unit to go along with the Shiki, of course. He's an int character, so obviously he's going to be working very well. And yeah, Scarlet's a pretty good unit. 2 times orb booster, but you do have to fulfill 2 conditions of being under 10%, and your captain has to be driven. So, you know, it is a little bit annoying because it just means that outside of, you know, running him on a Shiki team, he's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually use. And his sailor ability is actually, like, not too bad either. I'm not too sure on his class. I guess he's fighter powerhouse. That would make sense with his captain ability. But overall, pretty okay unit. And then we've got Dr. Indigo, who will be a 2.5 captain and 1.25 recovery to shooter. And his special ability will state that if, when you activate the special, your HP is equal or below 10%, and if your captain is driven, he will totally recover your health. And then he also eliminates all types of poison and blindness, and reduces damage by 50% for 3 turns, with a sailor ability that recovers 3 turns of special silence on himself. This character is actually pretty cool. Once again though, it is a little bit annoying that he does have a very strict condition of having to be under 10% and a driven captain. Now obviously he's going to be a shooter. I would assume his secondary class is going to be cerebral, but this is actually, like, it's okay, but yeah, man, this is going to be really annoying to use outside of Shiki, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Like, with the film Gold Batch, when those guys came out, all of those units could be used on other teams quite easily. But with this time around, it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. And then obviously we've got another pudding here. This is a summertime pudding. I don't know if it looks like this is going to be a secret character, I would assume. And her special recovers 7,000 HP, reduces attack down and resilience by 1 turn, converts adjacent orbs into matching, with a sailor ability that recovers 1 turn of paralysis for the whole team. Yeah, she's a pretty good unit. And she does have quite amazing artwork, if I do say so myself. But that is going to end this video, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.